Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Wisdom Circle. And ladies, welcome. Nice to see you this August. Can you believe it's August already? Oh my goodness. Incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Time is really flying. Really flying past. Today, we don't have our beautiful wisdom seeker, Joan. She's out following surgery. So everybody, please send her lots of love and healing light. She's recovering well, from what I understand. But let's all send her anyway. Lots of good vibes for a quick recovery. And it was elective surgery, so she's okay. It wasn't anything life-threatening, but I'm glad she made it through safe and sound.
Yeah.
So, you guys want to say hi to the chat room? We have Sherry Luke and Jamie's Cowboys. Hi, welcome, everyone. Today we're going to talk about fear. There's a lot of fear out there going on these days.
And not the spooky kind of fear.
Not the spooky kind of fear, the gut-wrenching fear. And I think we've all suffered from it a bit, right? Haven't you, ladies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it comes in waves for me. So I really have to watch what I'm reading and watching on TV and all that sort of stuff. So, hey, Venus and Carolyn, welcome. I'll just give it a few minutes for people to pop in. But today we're going to talk about fear and the, let me see if I can.
Spiritual.
Navigating the unknown, a discussion on fear and our spiritual path. So we're going to explore the interplay between our deepest anxieties and our search for meaning. I love that photograph too. Hi, Heavenly Blessed Honey. Yeah, I think I've been seeing a lot of fear in the public lately. A lot of stuff on YouTube about fear. And you know what? We all have it. We all have those moments. It's just a matter of how we deal with it that makes it easier to deal with. So I guess I can go ahead and get started. You know, us, a group of women, there's 6 of us that get together every month, and we each pick a subject, 2 subjects a year to talk about. I had a really hard time picking my second subject this year. Screamed at me, hello, this is what we need to talk about. So,
yes.
What I'd like to do is at the end of each slide, kind of get your comments on what it has to do with you or how it's affecting you. At the moment. So, what is fear? The definition of fear is a powerful primal response to perceived threat. It's a fundamental part of our survival mechanism. It's part of our survival instinct. It's a natural alarm system telling us to fight, flee, or freeze. I find myself freezing a lot. Beyond the physical threats, fear also shows up as anxiety, self-doubt, and a sense of unease about our life path. Fear can be a teacher as well. When we are, I can't read that. When we're brave enough to look at it, fear can reveal what is most important to us. So I was wondering how fear manifests in your life. For me, it's the political situation right now. That seems to be my greatest fear. And not so much for myself, but for those or people around me, people that aren't as centered as I am or have access to help like I do. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I definitely have family members that are really fearful about the political situation because one of them is on SSDI, and they're worried that their only link to potential money, it may go away, and that's a very legitimate fear.
I agree. Yeah. I have the same issue with a disabled member of my family.
Yeah, because unfortunately the political issue also ends up being just living, having the means to do it.
Yes,
Mhm.
they're taking away so many people's means of living
And rights.
and rights.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, so if you actually take a look at things out there, it's scary.
It is.
It's
So,
very
how do we distinguish between fear that's legitimate, um, that's protecting us, and a fear that's actually holding us back? Anybody?
Well, trying to figure out how to say this, but I've been really practicing not giving fear any power in my life. Just recognizing it for what it is, uh, but not giving it power. In other words, I don't want to visualize the negative of what could possibly happen in the world today that's ugly and bad, and I don't want to give that energy. It doesn't mean I put my head in the sand, but I try to really focus if it comes on me. I pray for the enlightenment of mankind. I pray for everybody to be treated fairly. I pray for truth to be revealed. Those kind of things are how. So in a way, yeah, kind of like work with the fear a little bit in seeing it, but saying this is the direction I want to go. I'm not going to let fear control my mind or my soul.
Yeah.
I think that's excellent.
And I think my coping is basically, as I do this, it actually helps me. But if I'm sending unconditional love and unity consciousness out, it not only elevates me, but I know that I'm sending it out to everybody else and hopefully will help elevate them. But I know that it helps me just doing that.
Mhm.
Ooh, I agree. I think you're right. Anybody else?
I think just putting things in perspective is really very helpful in whatever way. And I like what Terry Lee's had to say, because it's important to focus on what we want, not what we don't want. Don't complain, don't complain, don't complain. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Don't say the storm, the storm, the storm. Say we have, the new, we're whatever it is that you do want, pray for that and focus on that. Mhm.
I think you're right, Jean. You have to, whatever we focus on is where the energy goes. So if we're focusing on the negativity out there, all the stuff that's making us afraid, then we're just creating more to be afraid of. Whereas if we focus on sending out that love and sending unity consciousness out and surrounding those people with enlightenment, I think those.
Yeah, and I feel like fear is addictive. The more you
Oh,
fear,
yeah.
the more you're going to fear, the more and it's just like, because you're doing that, you're feeding it more and more energy.
Exactly. And the more energy you feed it, the bigger it gets.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So, what is spirituality? An inner journey. It's a path of self discovery and quest for deeper understanding. It's not dogma. Spirituality does not require a set of rules, a building, or a guru. It's a relationship with the unseen. I also want to add it's a relationship with yourself. It's not just the unseen, but with yourself, I believe. And I think the core concepts are awe, connection, inner peace, and finding our place in the world. I have to agree with all of those things. What does the word spirituality mean to you guys? Can you give me what you think about?
Hmm.
It's the essence. It's understanding our essence. It's the uncovering our true nature, our soul's vibration. You know me, I always say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love you and your vibration. I
And,
agree.
and I agree with her, but I do believe the key word is connection with the greater, connection with yourself, all of it. It's connection.
And connection with maybe the everyone else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I said,
connection with what's the word I'm trying to think of? Anyway, the connection with all things. Yeah. And I like that. I think a lot of people confuse spirituality with religion, and they're really not the same at all in my book. Religion's all about what you can do, what you can't do. the fear of going to hell, the fear of karma, the fear of this, the fear of that. So much of it is based in fear, whereas spirituality is based in love. And I think there's only two energies out there, love and fear. That's it. You get to choose with everything that you do, every moment of the day. You can choose love.
And the one will crowd out the other one. So it's what you pay, it's what you give your connection to as to how you're going to be.
Yeah. So what are some of the ways you feel connected to larger than yourself? I mean, I have mine, but
Can you say that again? Connected to?
what are some ways that you feel connected to something larger than yourself? What are some of the ways you feel connected to spirit, to source, to your higher self?
I feel completely connected, and kind of playing off exactly what Jean said about spirituality. Everything is God. Everything is the creator. And that includes all souls. And since I've really gotten into that and understood what it's like to see other people as souls living their journey and their lessons and making their choices, it's relieved a lot of anxiety and fear. And I feel at peace with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think that's beautifully said. I agree. When you start looking at other people as souls on a journey like you, their shittiness doesn't matter to me anymore. How they behave doesn't bother me anymore, because it's their journey, their life, their choices, and it's none of my business. My business is me and what I make of.
And who knows if they aren't going through a really difficult shadow learning.
Exactly. You never know what someone else is going through.
So
I like that. Anything else? Well, then we come to where they meet, fear and spirituality. So fear is a spiritual catalyst. I can see that. The fear of the unknown. This is the ultimate spiritual question. What happens next? Fear is a wake-up call. A moment of deep anxiety or a personal crisis can force us to reevaluate our lives and seek a deeper purpose. And the illusion of control. Fear often comes from a feeling of being out of control.
Yeah.
And spirituality can be a path towards surrendering to the flow of life. I found that to be very true. Once you surrender to the flow, things get a lot easier when you realize you can't control anything. There's nothing that you can control in your life, right? You just have to sit back and let it happen.
Well, we can make decisions about things, but I think what that's really taught me throughout my life is trust. I love this song. Etta James does it. It's called Trust in Me. Check it out. Google it. I love it, because whenever I start to get like, why is this or what is that? Then I hear that song in my head and I'm like, yeah, that's right. I got to trust in the creator, my guides, my guardian angels, all the journey that I've taken to this point. I have to trust. I have to trust.
And trust in yourself, in your inner self.
Yes.
I think that's the hardest one, is learning to trust our inner self. For sure. Did any of you have any particular challenge or scary moment that brought you to spirituality? Was there anything that you can think back on that changed the direction of your life? Go for it.
I had a ghost in my house, and that broke me wide open, and I had to find out why and how. And at that same time, I was interested in feng shui, and it was all just culminating together and expanded and exploded faster than I knew what was going on. It was all very surreal. And everybody thought I was cracking up and going crazy. That's when you know you're connected to spirit, when everybody else is like,
When they're telling you you're
they're
crazy.
whispering behind your back and they say, how are you feeling today, Jean? I'm like, yeah, you know. Yeah, they did. They did. And I wasn't sure either, but yeah, so a lot of things were happening all at once. But thank goodness I was able to figure it all out with friends like you guys.
Well, I got to tell you, people have thought I was crazy all my life. So it's a normal state for me.
Anyone else?
I was going to say, for me, I was kind of crazy all my life too, but it wasn't apparent that I was going to actually go on a different journey until I got divorced. And so my entire family and the family I had married into, they were all, born again, holy roller kind of people. And so the very fact that I was even seeking divorce was kind of like, you are breaking up with God. And I'm like,
Oh,
okay, well, here's the deal. I still have to do it regardless. This is just not tenable. And I knew I was on a different path. And that's when I could start really hearing my guides, even though I didn't even know I had guides yet. But somehow I trusted them. Yeah.
that's neat.
And you had clairsentience. You knew something inside
I
of you
knew.
knew. And that's kind of what I was raised in, a very religious background. And there was a moment of fear when I started to really trust the stuff that I knew, really hear it and feel it. And I had to stand up and say, I don't believe this. I know this is not true.
Right.
And when I started to do that, I was really scared.
It is
You have
scary
to
when you go
really
out
do.
on your own, away from everything and everybody around you believes in. It can be pretty scary.
I was scared. I wasn't scared that I was wrong. I was scared that they would ruin my relationship with my mother. I'll just be honest, with my mother and my older sister. But what ended up happening with me and my mom is, as time went by, I just kind of talked her language a little bit. I didn't have to make her believe what I was experiencing, but it just kind of faded away, and we still had a beautiful relationship. So that's where that trust comes in. But yeah, that was terrifying.
That was really smart, Terry Lee, because you do have to meet people where they are, and you can't start talking stuff that is totally beyond them and expect them to understand. It's easier just to meet them where they are and let it dribble out.
She knew where I stood,
Mhm.
and the big thing was I just had to speak out what I knew when I was a child, is that there's no hell. There's no hell. You
Yeah.
can't tell me it's an all-loving God and that he wants to burn people eternally with it.
No,
I totally agree.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my when I went through the divorce, when I having to look at myself to see, well, really, are you ditching God and are you going to hell and all that kind of stuff? I had to look back at what did I really believe. And all of my life, Ethan, as a really little kid, I didn't believe in religion. I believed that every single religion leads to God. It really
Yes.
didn't matter which one you chose if that you were
Mhm.
trying to go towards God. So I just thought, okay, I'm not going to believe this. I'm going to hell thing. I know everything's fine.
Yeah.
And I told them that, but then I just didn't talk about it anymore, or, because I didn't even know what the path was going to be yet. So, but I just knew that I was right. Just like Terry Lee, I was right. And that
Yeah,
this was okay.
Clairsentience. You
yeah,
know it. You got to trust it.
yeah. Clairsentience is big for me, even since I was a kid. I just didn't realize what it was when I was younger. And,
Yeah.
not till I got
And
much older. But I always knew we were Episcopalian and we weren't particularly religious. My parents were both members of the Rosicrucians. So they believed in reincarnation, which was already going against the church. And I just knew, and when I was going through catechism, that it was a bunch of malarkey, that there was no hell, that, like you say, you just knew it inside. And I believed in all the teachings of Jesus because that's what
Yes.
you learned in Sunday school. And
but
I
look at what he was
love
teaching.
Jesus.
Look at what he was teaching love. And isn't that what we're all trying to teach?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Anyway, okay, next. And here we go. Here's how we deal with those fears. Shadow work, embracing our fears. The practice of shadow work is a key tool for confronting fear. We focus on what is the shadow, the parts of ourselves we deny, hide, and reject, our fears, insecurities, and past traumas. The power of integration. True spiritual growth isn't about getting rid of our fears, but about befriending them and integrating them into our whole being. Fear's true message: our shadow holds the key to understanding our deepest fears. Facing them can unlock immense personal power. I guess you guys know about shadow work. Done tons of it. I don't think that shadow work ever ends, does it?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it ever ends. Because even if we think we've addressed something, if we go back, they might find a little speck that needs to be addressed again.
Like that onion peel. You just keep peeling back the layers.
Yeah.
Anything anybody want to say about shadow work?
Well, it's an ongoing thing. I really feel like I work with my guides. They're usually the ones who point it out. And and then I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. But what I don't sense is any judgment in it. It's more growth. It's more like, hey, you'll feel better if you can grow through this and learn through this.
You will feel better on the other side. It's important not to hide it or push it away or ignore it, or, these little things that are bugging you and causing you pain and grief and anger. It's really, really important to get with a practitioner and work on unraveling that, getting to the root of it, and processing the energy that's holding on. And it really is freeing. It allows you to evolve. It moves your understanding, your perspective. It allows you to it brings empowerment. It's it's revealing. And I did it. I was so very lucky. I tell you, I did 3 years of shamanic energy healing with a group of about 12 people, and we cried and we spit and we, screamed, and it was emotional, and it was an outlet. And we then put things into the fire and danced and sang our healing and brought in the spirits. And it's really important to get to the root of these things and to drill down and to understand it and unearth it. And then when we do, it's so freeing. It's almost like, oh, I never knew. I didn't look at it like that. Like, it's just, it changes the energy and the poison it has. It
Yes.
changes it, and it allows it to be a lesson, and it allows it to be a part of your character.
Beautiful. Well said, Jane.
That
And I'm so
really-
glad you said fire, because I'm going to a fire ceremony this weekend. I'm so excited.
Do it.
fun.
Yes, it'll be my second here in just a few weeks. Wonderful group of shamanic ladies. But I just want to add this at the end. It's not judgment. To those of you who've never looked into what people call shadow work, I mean, it's not judging yourself. It's understanding the path that may have taken you to adopt some certain beliefs or take some different turns in your life. But that's all part of the journey that you designed as a
I
soul.
think that it's important to realize that it isn't about judgment. It's the opposite of
It's
judgment.
the opposite.
And it's observing it.
Yeah, from a
Mhm.
higher perspective. It allows you to go to that higher perspective to see it. And where it doesn't have the power. Judging it gives it power.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas if you observe it, you can see what's going on, what happened, why it happened, but you don't feel it. You can observe.
Right. I sometimes almost feel like there's 3 of me here. There's me, there's spirit me, and there's spirit and the other, the other people guiding. And what I noticed was shadow work is, I've done deep shadow work, but it's an ongoing thing that can be at small levels too. Like what I've noticed is sometimes I will be just thinking stuff, maybe watching the news, I don't know. And then an idea will float through and I'll be like, whoa, where did that
Where
idea
did
come
that
from?
come from?
That's kind of ugly. That's really quite ugly. And then I'll like, okay, no, you can't go hide. Come back here, little thought. Come back here. Where'd you come from? And follow it.
That's clever.
What happened? Because it's clearly from some place in me. And where was that? And follow it back
Yeah.
and find out, do you truly believe that? Is that, how did that happen?
Can I ask you
Right.
how you dealt with shadow work? What kind of methods did you use? I use different practitioners. Did meditation. I've done several different ways. I love that Jean did the shamanic route, went the shamanic route for a lot of hers. How?
Mhm.
What other ways have you guys done it?
Well, most recently, I myself did shamanic work in a class, and it was very, very powerful. It's not that that's the only way, but uh, we can get ground into how we're working or what we're absorbing or what we're reading or what we're listening to on YouTube spiritually. Okay.
Mhm.
But sometimes it takes something different, a new concept, something you haven't done before. And I
Mhm.
had done a little bit of it before, but nothing this intense. And it was very, very powerful. And I just encourage everybody to explore, if you've never even studied any Buddhism, check it out. Study some of the ideas there. Check out the different belief systems that have been with us since the dawn of time. And then you'll get some different perspective on
Ooh, I love
your
that.
shadow work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anything else?
Yeah. I just commenting on what she was saying. I agree with that. It was kind of like when you and I went looking for different kinds of spiritual downloads when we went traveling.
To
We were
Sedona? Are
bringing
you talking about
in
Sedona?
all these different things. And that's what you do when you go to different kinds of classes and
Yeah.
modalities is you're bringing yourself to being more rounded.
Yes. Yeah.
Agree. So, spiritual practices as a response to fear. Mindfulness and meditation practices that teach us to observe our fear without judgment, creating a space between the feeling and our reaction.
Yeah.
I like that one.
That's good.
Nature connection, finding perspective and comfort in the vastness and rhythm of the natural world. And then we have rituals and creativity, using tools like journaling, art, or creating personal rituals to externalize and process our internal fears. So we talked about the practices of shamanic work, which I love. I think that's a wonderful. Um, anything else that you can think of?
I was going to say, you mentioned journaling, but I wanted to say that because I use journaling a lot, what it allows me to do is to step back and look at things differently. Because since I'm writing down, I'm looking at different points of view at the same time. And if I wasn't journaling, I probably wouldn't take that step back. But the journaling allows me to do that. So for me, that is one way that for me works, but that's the reason it works. It
I
allows me.
like that. And
Yeah.
journaling allows you to see patterns. It allows you
Exactly.
to go back and see patterns in your life.
And the only
Good
other
and
thing I
bad.
would say about journaling is go back and read it, because what you thought you wrote might not be what you wrote.
Yeah, you taught me to
Oh,
go
yeah.
back and read.
You just thought that's what you wrote, but that's not. Spirit was writing something different. So go back.
Channeled writing. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely channeled writing.
Yeah.
Anything else on that, ladies? We got a bunch of different.
Yeah, great comments out there.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
really
there's
do.
a lot of them.
Let me just stop for a minute and go through some of the
Yes.
comments. Speaking of fear, Carolyn Cooper says, I fear the complete loss of our democracy. I don't think you're alone in that. I think that's one huge fear of many of us on the planet right now.
Yeah, and it's not just this country that fears it.
Yeah.
No, it's the whole damn world.
Mhm.
And then Sherry Luke says, yes, no feeding fear. It's not always easy, but well worth it. I've had some serious shakes from fear in the past, and breathing helps too. Oh my God, breathing is so good
Yeah.
for fear. I hadn't even thought about writing
Yeah.
that before, but it is. Breath work is amazing.
Hmm.
Then Lark says, yes, 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 no fear. Love embellishing the entire earth and earth atmospheric surface. Yeah, I love it.
Ooh.
Yes, yes, yes.
Lovely.
And then I guess I should show these. I'm sorry. Carolyn Cooper says, I ask myself, angels, spirit guides, divine energy to send a blanket of love and light to cover America and protect us during my morning grounding. Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful, Carolyn. Yeah.
And then Lark says, which wolf do you choose to feed?
I love
I
that.
feed love. I don't want to feed. I love wolves. And then Lark says, yes, remembering that you have to flow because you can't go against the current for very long. Boy, that's like, I'm really good at butting my head against the wall time after time after time. I'm getting better about it, just going with the flow. Oh, I love it. Okay, hide that. Did I miss anything that you guys starred or anything?
Well, I like
think
Garnet.
it was-
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Go
I was
ahead.
going to say, I was looking at the comments, and there is somebody who's from Poland. Can't read their
Hello from
name, but
Poland.
they're from
Hi,
Poland.
welcome.
Hello.
Love it. Love it. And then Carolyn says she's on the shadow work path and I'm already feeling the changes.
Mhm.
Sometimes they're small changes and sometimes they can be enormous. It's
I
just,
like that Garnet said treat it like a child as well.
Yeah.
Like you would treat a child,
Be
your
gentle.
shadow side.
Yeah, and be gentle with
Yes.
yourself,
gentle and with lots of love.
for yourself.
Yeah, I found that I was able to reconnect with my inner child in a whole different way from doing shadow work. And now that child is cheerful.
Yeah.
You know, the inner child is no longer sad. She's cheerful and happy to be part of me. And I think that's incredible.
That's how you change your past. You changed your past. Yeah.
Okay, so then we have faith versus certainty. Spirituality is often a journey of faith, trusting in the unknown, which is very different from demanding certainty. Certainty is a trap. The desire to know all the answers is a way of trying to eliminate fear, and it can block us from growth. Amen. I'm one of those, always trying to find the reason, all the answers. Faith is trust. True spiritual faith is an act of trust in the process of life, even when we can't see what's coming next. Yeah. Embracing doubt. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. It's a natural part of the journey, and it's a signal to ask deeper questions. I think that's how I got started, is doubting the rhetoric from childhood that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I think that sometimes I think I was a hard child to raise because my mom often started that kind of thing with me. Like my grandpa died, and I it was all of my grandparents were beloved, but I was like, oh, that's I was really sad, and I'm like, so what happens now? What I mean, what about this death? Of and I don't know what I was exactly asking. All I remember is I asked too many questions about death or something, which scared me. And she said, "Well, we we just die. You're gone. You're dead. You're in the earth. You're just gone." And I'm like, "Oh, that's not right." I think I said, "Oh, Mom, that's not right," and walked away.
I
I often
love
do
that,
things
Terry.
like that as kid. Like she said something else
Um,
about sin, and I said, "That's not the God I knew," and walked away.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, but, and there were a lot of times that I just walked away because I knew they were wrong, but couldn't tell them
mhm.
because I just get caught.
No, I don't know, but at my house, you didn't talk back to your parents.
No,
You didn't disagree with them about anything if you wanted to survive.
no, and my brothers were always linked together. So if I contradicted one, I had both of them. So, it was like two sets of
Mm.
parents, even if one was younger.
Right.
So,
well,
How
I'd
does
like to address that. I'm sorry. I'd like to address that. It's saying true spiritual faith is an act of trust in the process of life, even when we can't see what's coming next.
mhm.
There's a great desire among so many souls these days to know what's coming next. What do you
Mm.
see? What's going to happen?
isn't that the truth?
And it occurs to me that, it's very much like, well, I'm into paddle boarding and I've paddle boarded down rivers and things. And that you just, your skills, your ability, your tools, what you have. Right. And
Mhm.
you go forward in faith, but you don't necessarily know what's around the bend. And you've got to just accept that as part of the journey and part of, I dare I say, excitement. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the next year. I'm excited to see how this is all going to work. There are so many of us out there praying for positivity and good things to happen, and we're working to manifest those very deeply. So I'm excited to see that, just like we're going to come around the bend. And I don't need to know because there's too many moving parts,
Yeah, and I agree with there are too many. I am excited to see what it looks like in 10 years looking back.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm with you. I'm curious. I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen next because I know that we're at the front end of huge changes on the planet.
Yes, we are.
The first few years of the new 26,000 year cycle, we're at the baby steps of it, but it's very
Yeah.
exciting to see. As
Yeah.
much as I hate reading what's going on, I know that it's necessary to tear down to rebuild in love and unity consciousness, that this is a requirement. So I just
And,
give it up,
yeah, I was going to say, we have to remember that we're not going to be perfect. There are going to be missteps, but in the long run, it will be perfect.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
How are you guys? What about the rest of you? Are you on board with just relaxing and not relaxing, surrendering to spirit and just watching what flows rather than getting too anxious about it?
I guess not.
I guess not.
Well, I just want to say, hey, um, I'm not perfect, and things can come out of my mouth that, when I see or hear something, I'm just like, oh, Terry. But it's a matter of just correcting that and giving it over to the creator and
Mhm.
the power of love.
I
But
agree, and it really does make a difference when you learn to surrender to that love and just let spirit
Show the
take.
next one underneath what
Right.
Lark said, because I agree. There
I
is
truly
beauty,
understand I'm perfectly imperfect.
and that there is beauty in imperfection.
Oh, I like that.
And Master Jesus overturned the tables in the temple of the money changers. Just remember that. So,
Exactly.
we're human, and part of being human is occasionally we're going to get very angry. And there's a certain thing that is anger based on imposing suffering on innocent people and starving innocent children, that kind of stuff. So it's okay to feel disturbed about that and angry, but it's what you do with it afterwards.
That's the key, Terry. It's what you do with that emotion how you deal with that emotion. There's nothing wrong with feeling those types of emotions because it's horrendous. Some of these things that are happening to people are absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
But this may not be the time to say this, but we all agreed to come here for this situation.
Oh, we sure did.
We all agreed, and those that are being treated horribly,
And,
did they know that
and
they were in for this? I believe they did, and they're suffering for the rest of us.
and we are the way showers. So we know this is happening. We need to show the way not to have this happen, how to address it.
I agree. Okay, the fear of death. Here's the ultimate fear, and how a spiritual perspective can address this. Facing our mortality. The fear of death is the fear of ceasing to exist in the ultimate surrender of control. In spiritual God, I can't talk. Perspectives, the concept of consciousness, the soul's journey, or the idea that our energy returns to the universe can provide comfort. Isn't that the truth? And living fully, a spiritual perspective on death helps us live. I can't even read that. More present and meaningful lives, ignoring the preciousness of each, honoring the preciousness of each moment.
Mm-hmm.
The more we can do that, the better off we are.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Have your views on death and dying changed since you became a more spiritual person? Because mine did 180 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Mine did some, but not a whole lot. I always felt like they were still with us, but that was a feeling, whereas now it's a certainty.
Yeah. Good. Beautiful. What about you, Jean?
Sorry. Yes. Obviously, when we talk to the loved ones on the other side and we can feel their joy, their unconditional love, their compassion for us here on this earth, and that information and the feeling together is an awareness of who we truly are and what we're all about and why, how short this life really is. And that this is only, one little blink of the eye in our soul's eternal, experience. And it really just puts things in perspective. And that's what this is. This is part of the shadow work that that you unravel and reveal a perspective and understanding, and you touch places or feel things that really open you up and change and open up your mind and your heart to understand things in a different way. And it just changes you. So yeah. And when I feel as though when I'm, I was going to say, is there one word that I could say why I'm here? And it's to evolve. My soul wants to evolve and experience life, but also to teach. But the drive and the what would you call that? That the inspiration that I feel is to improve my skills and to be able to, and they say, and I'm not just saying this for me, but they say we're here to bring heaven to earth, and then we're supposed to blend and bring in this new earth and the heavenly realms to be a closer proximity, and if not a new realm. So I think it's just so exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's very exciting. And I know that when we do the work we do, and a message comes through that's validated from someone that we can't even see on the other side of the world, and they're like, oh yeah, hopefully those validations not only give us, just a great thrill, a great peace, like, wow, okay, it's just like, I always say it's like exploring outer space, but It's not outer space. It's right here. It's very close to us. That realm is so close to us. And now with all of us participating and sharing with each other in our own unique ways, we're exploring and revealing that there is no death. So that takes a bit of the sting of death away, doesn't it?
And we're remembering. I
sting.
love that. And you're right. It does take the sting of death. I have a completely different view of losing my family and friends, knowing that, oh, I'll see them again. This isn't the first or last time.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just not in this form, not in this human thing.
Yeah, not in this particular form.
Oh,
Who
that's
knows what other forms we have? Maybe we're a reptilian in another life, or maybe we're a Pleiadian or a blue avian. Who knows what we are in another life?
Yeah.
Or how
I
many
love this.
different kinds of things we have been.
Yep.
Thank you, Lark. Perfectly said, Jean. From inside out, when we open up our hearts as a collective, we exponentially help others. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing, you guys. All this love that we send out, we're raising the vibration of the collective
Yes.
as well of ourselves. It doesn't, nothing affects just us. It affects everyone, anyone and everyone on the planet,
Oh, yeah.
the cosmos.
And
Because
I've always believed that, which is why I say you can't tell the future. Because even if you don't know who it is, anybody can make any kind of change that affects everything else.
I know that one thing I hear time and time and time again when I read people is the people that are already on the other side always remind them to live
Yeah.
without fear, to live
Yeah.
without, know that there really isn't death. The body we're in might die, but the spirit never dies. And they often say things like this, and I'm going to use a pretend person called Ryan. Ryan, this is the only time you get to play the role of Ryan. You only get to be Ryan. Do it all the way. Don't do a half-hearted Ryan. So they
I
want
love
us.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they want us
beautiful.
to overcome the fear and live without fear. Do the things you want.
It's not easy to live without fear.
Mm.
It just isn't. I admire people that can live without fear. I grew up a very fearful human being. And to me, it's amazing how much fear the shadow work has gotten rid of and allowed me to live as me, the true me, the authentic me, when I spent so many years afraid.
Yeah.
It's just a waste of energy. Total waste of energy. We live forever. We are alive forever and ever and have been since the dawn of creation.
Yeah.
This is just a blip. It's just a tiny little blip.
Mhm.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poor humans, all we think of is that this is here and now is all we ever get.
Only on Earth. Only on Earth.
Yeah, and how many times on Earth have we been here? Who knows?
Exactly.
I think more than once.
Well,
Okay.
on your comment about growing up in fear, I did as well in a very traumatic environment. And I think what happens is as a child, well, you develop a deep empathic ability because
Yes.
you get that to protect yourself. So you basically use fear as a protective net around you. Because if I know, well, plan A, B, C, and D, right? Have to have a plan in case this happens, then I'm going to do this. I'm talked to many people who've had similar upbringings and we all find that to be a common thing. So you build up this fear as a protective device. But then when you let go of that, and like you say, all of us are today, we're eternal beings. And when you start to be free from all that, oh my goodness, life is such a joy. And it fills you with so much gratitude,
It does.
even for what you've been through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lark says, yes, I grew up under fear. It is so free, and that allows you to look at things from a different perspective. Totally amazing. Agreed.
Mhm.
Who was going to say something? Was that you,
Oh,
Terry?
that was me.
Yeah.
No,
I
that
was
was my dog. Zena.
I was going to say that once you kind of look at life from that perspective, that you keep going and that you also are supposed to live this life and do it the best you can. It also then kind of sometimes, not all the time, but most of the time, puts fear in its proper place. Because of course we do need to have healthy fear that we,
Yes.
that we don't do stupid things.
Like stranger danger. I don't know why that popped into my head. Stranger danger. Yes.
You know,
Using fear as protection.
yeah. There's another thing that I wanted to talk about that I didn't see in your slides is that the work we do as psychic mediums, I noticed that we have to overcome our own fear.
Oh, yeah.
We have a fear of saying the wrong thing or saying something stupid or saying something that might hurt somebody, but we also have to overcome the fear. Like I'm clairvoyant, so they might show me something and it might be something very scary looking. And I am called as a psychic medium to step forward into the fear anyway. Anyway, to go in and say, who are you? What are you? Take your mask off. I want to see who that is behind there. Why are you showing us that? We have to overcome the fear too to do this work. And that's part of what we're called to do, to overcome
Fear
the
of
fear.
being wrong. That's a big one for people in our business, is the fear of being wrong. Sometimes you're just wrong, and that's all
It's
there is.
just going to happen.
Just
Yeah.
Gotta just okay. It's just going to happen. But that's so well said, Terry. That's a very important thing to consider.
Very important.
And it's also a fear of sometimes having to tell what comes through you may not be what the other person who's asking the question wants to hear. And that's not an easy one
and
either.
that's a fear
You gotta
too.
be faithful. You got to just say, look, I got to say what I get. And that's all you can do. But surround it with love and understanding. That's the best you can do.
I agree. Okay. So here's some questions. How has experience with fear informed your spiritual path, and how has your spirituality helped you with your fears? Who wants to go for that one?
I think we all kind of covered that, didn't we?
I felt so too. That's
Okay. What is one piece of shadow work or one new idea you gained from this discussion that you might explore further?
That's a great question.
Well, I, for one, think I'm going to try to look for a shamanic circle that I can go scream at.
I was thinking the same thing, Terry. After listening to Gene and Terry Lee, I'm like, I love drumming. I love shamanism. I have got to find me a shamanic group.
Yeah, take a class. My rule is never stop learning. Never stop learning. There's always something you can learn. Yeah. Ooh, I'm excited now.
If I stop learning, I die. I don't think I could stop learning. If I I think I would just shrivel up and die.
Yeah, that's the way I feel.
I'm too curious. I want to know. I want to know how things work. I just want to know. I'm always digging for more info.
Yeah.
So how can we as individuals or in our communities create spaces where it's safe to explore these deep connections between fear and our spiritual selves? Well, number one, our community here is amazing. I always feel safe to talk about whatever I need to talk about.
Yeah.
This is an incredible community on YouTube that has come alive since COVID. It blows my mind, the community we have. The love, the understanding, the being able to talk with each other about things the other parts of my family might think are nuts. You know what I mean? I always feel safe amongst you ladies and our chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I'm eternally grateful. And everybody know this. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. We're on this fantastic journey within this community. And for those who are curious about it and anxious to join and come in, our our YouTube shows will be listed, so you can come and join and become a part of the community. That's the thing about it, is it's all about love. We welcome everyone.
Absolutely. This is beautiful what Lark says.
Mhm.
Yes, whenever I ever stop through this door with you guys, I feel so calm. I can let my
Oh.
heart speak, and I feel so appreciative that you are all here for all of us. So much love. We feel the same way about you guys in the chat, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I can't.
Ah,
Sorry
hey,
about
Bora
that.
Bora.
Thank you, Bora Bora. That's sweet.
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think this is a wonderful community, and I think this is a wonderful group of ladies. And I've learned so much from each and every one of you. It blows my mind sometimes. So the next slides, if you guys want to take some screenshots, I'm just going to leave this up for a couple of seconds. I think there's 3 or 4 different slides of resources. There's books and there's podcasts for if you want to know more about spirituality and how to deal with your fear. There's so many resources. And I know most of us have read A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. I think most of us have read that. And where you go, there you are. And let's see. I've never heard of Dan Harris. Have you guys heard of Dan Harris? 10% Happier,
Nope.
great resource for skeptics. This book chronicles a journalist's journey from skeptic to mediator, blending personal narratives with scientific research on the benefits of mindfulness. Oh, that
Wow.
was neat. And then there's a couple of books on shadow work. And then there's podcasts. So the information is out there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just got to run with it. Just go for it wherever you think you need to go.
Mhm. And use your discernment, you know? If
Oh,
you don't resonate with something, then just say, okay, and
that's
move on
not
to something
me.
else.
That's fine.
Yeah, go somewhere else, because wherever you go, it needs to be positive. If they're tearing you down or telling you need to do this, you need to do that, it's not for you.
No.
There should not be any judgment in any kind of education like that. But there's
Yes.
plenty out there. So, well, ladies, thank you.
Thank you all for being
Thank
here.
you. Great presentation, Priscilla.
Yes.
Thank you
Perfect
very
timing.
much. Appreciate it. And thank you to the chat for being here with your questions and comments. We absolutely love it.
Yes.
And we couldn't do this show without you, so thank you.
Absolutely. Anywhere else you want to go with this, ladies? Any final thoughts?
No,
Thank you. Well done.
I'm just grateful. Yeah, everybody has such beautiful messages today. They all work together. So it was beautiful. Thank you.
I'm grateful for this group, and I'm grateful for this chat. I'm grateful for this community. It just, whenever I come on, I just feel lighter and happier, just bathing in the energy of love that's out there. It's fantastic. So I'm going to go around and ask each of you when you're on next. And to be honest with you, I can't remember who's next month. Does anybody remember who's next month?
It's me.
Carrie.
What are you going to talk
Okay.
about, Carrie?
She goes up real slow.
I don't remember what topic it is, but it's me.
Okay. Well, I can't remember the topic either.
Well, we'll look forward to it.
But it's in the description of the video.
I think it's about
Everybody's-
how not to pop out of your body.
Oh, is it?
That
I'm
would be
sure more
fun.
people would like to know how to pop out.
You do
I'd
astral
be more
travel
interested.
very well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
So, Jean, when are
Amazing.
you on next? You said you're on quite a bit this month. Where are you up next?
Yeah, tomorrow, Wisdom Seeker Joan and Tara Stash and I have a show tomorrow.
Oh,
And then on Friday, I have the Psychic Triad with the ladies.
oh, I always love that. Fantastic. What about you, Terry Lee?
I'll be on Friday with the Psychic Triad. Looking forward to it. It's always powerful, very powerful. And be sure and join us if you haven't out there, because you get 3 psychic mediums working for
And free
you.
readings from 3
Yeah.
fabulous psychic mediums.
Yeah.
3 of
pretty
the
amazing.
best. 3 of the best for sure. And we're going to have Miss Terry Suzuki on Saturday. She's going to join the Crone Zone on Saturday with more Terry's Tales, and those are always fun. I can't wait. Anywhere else you can be on?
Well, like I'm going to be on Friday with the Psychic Triad. Then I'm going to be on with you telling my crazy stories. And the only other thing is during the month of August, so the 2 last weekends of August, I'm going to be in person at fairs. I'm going to be in person at Ocean Shores, August 16th and 17th. And I'll be in Bellevue, Washington, the last Saturday and Sunday of the month. So if anybody's
Wow.
around, get a reading.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then Heather, aren't you on? Are we next Tuesday? What's your next remote view?
The next remote view has to deal with the Grand Canyon.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Things that have happened that before it became the Grand Canyon, and once it had become, things that happened around it. And if there were any, just history, because I'm going to go into different, I can jump time. So I'm going to jump a bunch of times and see if I can find anything besides how it was formed,
Cool.
The Grand Canyon, that's interesting. I'm really curious about the Grand Canyon because there have been reports of explorers that have found Egyptian artifacts and caves and stuff. And so I'm really curious if there's any truth to that. And stay tuned because Heather will let us know.
I will do my best.
I love it. Well, ladies, thanks again for being here. And again, to everyone out in YouTube land, thank you all for being here. And we'll see you next month. Until then, take care. Lots of love to all of you. And thanks for being here.